Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, animals of all ages. It is Wednesday, my dudes, and you know what that means. It is time for Wednesday Cup, and boy, oh boy, have we got a belter on it tonight here. We are at, not Laguna Seca, it's at bloody Pukekohe, and it has got a 2.9 kilometre circuit. We are live right here in the commentary box at the moment. Tonight it is Zach O'Reilly and Lindsay Muddle taking away the broadcast for you. We'll get to him soon. But it is a 2.9 kilometre circuit here and 11 turns here at the absolute capital of U-turns. And I'm not talking about the ones on the road, ladies and gentlemen. The population here are 100% the best in U-turners. But we don't want to see that on track tonight. We want to see them all racing around. The usual format is, as always, 8 minutes of qualifying session. Race 1 is 15 minutes. Race 2 is a top 10 reverse grid. Race 3 is a top 15 reverse grid, and they all go up in a minute from one race after the other. Quickest man in practice during the week was Benny Hines. Who would have thought that man just doing his best work right out there at the moment? This is what we come for. We come for this sort of action here, but it's still on like Donkey Kong. We're at round 2. Laguna Seca was last week. We are done with that one. A big tick. Pukekohe is next, and we're off to Willow Springs in round 3. Look forward to that one there. The car itself, this is what we're racing. The Toyota SFR, 349 brake horsepower, a fantasy car, mind you, made by Gorilla Mods there. 471 newton meters of torque, 980 kilograms of pure metal on the road. And boy, oh boy, have they put some good racing in this season as well. And speaking of that, this is your standings. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. D&Q. Alex McEwen is out in front. Benny Hines in second place, just behind him. He's got more ballast as Benny Hines, just because he has won a couple better positions than what Alex has. But still, on top is Alex. Matthias Falzon in third place with some ballast there too. Scotty Garrick in fourth. Nick Mallow in fifth place for your top 5, with Tommy Corks, Matt Munro, Fabian Fitness, Star Gillich, Dion Clerk rounding out your top 10. And without further ado, he's been sitting here very patiently and enjoying the dulcet tones of myself. But it is a good evening to one man, Lindsay Muddle.
Yeah, g'day Zach, and I am absolutely pumped to be here, and these cars have looked really good from the first round. I watched on the first round, and yeah, I can't wait to get into it. Yeah, mate, it's going to be absolutely sensational here tonight. Getting down to these boys on track. We've got new drivers in here. We've got Joshy Sadler in the mix. We've got everyone that you can possibly think of right around there having a good old tussle tonight, and it's going to be cracking 3 rounds. Chris Van Rowe is not here with us tonight, and he's doing some rounds in the hinterlands, singing his heart out to a lovely new bride and groom out there. I'll tell you what, he bet you he wishes he was here, Lindsay. I can guarantee you that, but it doesn't matter, because tonight it is us two. And welcome to all of our viewers watching all over the world. Good evening to Ron Marshall and everyone else in the chat. And with only 3 and a bit minutes left in practice here to go, these boys are getting a little bit towier than a Roman sandal, in fact, Lindsay Muddle. But at the top, it's Dion Clerk doing 107.8s, and Alex McEwen is no sign on the server as of yet. Yeah, which is definitely interesting. He's not normally one to show up at the last second, at least in previous Wednesday Cups and also in the Gen 3s. Dion Clerk, though, currently sitting 10th in the championship, I believe it was, topping the practice at the moment, and then Hines in behind him. That's definitely very close there up the top. Like, look at those margins. The top 7, that's what, 5/10 separating them. Yeah,
not even. Have a look at it. It's only a really short sprint around here. Nearly under 1 minute 10s. Happy days. And the corners themselves, though, coming up to turn 1 there, it is an absolute nightmare to get that car through there at speed, let alone 2 or 3 wide. And I tell you what, these boys will be singing to the high heavens if something comes amiss in the grand scheme of things with those boyos running around. We just want to see good, hard, clean racing, and that is what we're getting, though. And I'll tell you what there, Lindsay, with only 600s between Dion Clerk and Benny Hines, qualifying in a couple of minutes' time is going to be absolutely closer than you think.
Yeah, and I can't wait for it. We got a lot of quick drivers as per usual here in AK Racing, and they're all going to be pushing it as hard as they can. There's Falzons now in second, and Fabian Fitness sits in third. So everybody's kind of shaking up, pushing a little bit more here at the end of the practice, and just a little bit of an insight as to what we're going to see going into qualifying, which I'm sure is just going to be an absolute belter.
Yeah, but absolute rip snorter, I'm telling you. We can see over the hood here of Colton Atkins. He's making his way down inside the top 10 overall on pace at the moment. A really good showing from him, so he's doing well. He's 8/10 off the pace, but look at that mid-pack, as we said, that's close, and he's sliding it away around there. Beautiful stuff. That's what we want to see. Want to see some dead-set, hardcore action racing, and that's what these gentlemen are going to produce for us tonight. I can guarantee you there is no miffing about in that grand scheme of things. They're going to have an absolute barnstormer tonight, and I can't wait for Pukekohe to get sorted. So I think, without further ado, it's time that we get cracking, and let's get into qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. You know what to do. Strap in, get those condiments refilled here. We're going to get the boys off and running very shortly for their 8-minute qualifying sprint here for round 2 of Wednesday Cup here at Sensational TV and AK Racing. Don't go anywhere. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm telling you, this is where man becomes legend here at Pukekohe Raceway. And who better to start off qualifying here with 1 minute and 26 seconds left before they start heading out single file there, Lindsay Muddle, then Benny Hines, the man who put it on pole in practice, if there is a pole position for practice, as everyone starts to get themselves into the server here. But that single file behaviour here is all at the advantage of Benny Hines, and I bet you he's rip snorting and ready to get out there.
Yeah, and I think everybody will be. This is really when the nerves start to settle in. You're sitting there at the red light waiting for it to be ready to go, and the nerves build up, and you just get yourself mentally prepared for what is going to be some of the biggest push laps of the night. And yeah, quali is always a bit stressful. Some people struggle with stress that comes with a quali lap. Some people excel under the pressure that comes with qualifying. But I think a lot of these drivers here tonight always put together a good qualifying performance.
Oh, they do, and you can see them all giving each other the flash out there. I'll tell you what, that's just because they're in the pit lane. But single file behaviour here is immense with 30 seconds left. The blood's about to start to get pumping. You can see there, Benny, having a little bit of a rev there. There's only one track camera here at this track as well, ladies and gentlemen, on the side. So you're going to have to put up with that. Or even this view. Actually, let's go to that one there. See what these drivers are looking at through the rest of the race. Good to have you all with us here tonight as well. I'm excited. 8 seconds, 7 seconds left to go here. And Benny is just starting to get himself in. First gear selected. And he's about to head out for his first opening lap here of qualifying. 7 minutes, 56 seconds left. It is all up to now for these boyos. Where are they going to sit here at the end of this one? I'm going to need some predictions in the chat there. I'm going to put Scotty Garrick in for a top 5. But to take pole, Lindsay Muddle, you can give me your prediction in a second. But I reckon we're going to be on here for Matt Munro to take the inaugural pole of this night.
Ooh, that's bold. That is really bold. I'm not sure, actually. Just looking at practice, I wasn't getting too much of a read, but I'm also going to be bold. I'm going to go for the person that dropped down towards the end of the free practice. I'm going to say Dion Clerk. Okay,
Dion Clerk is Lindsay's prediction there. Fouls on second is what Jake Vadegeg says in the chat. Good to have you, mate. Wishing you well, and hopefully you're doing okay out there. Missing you on the circuit, though, nonetheless, but you'll be back at some stage, I'm sure, for this one. But good to have you with us. And he's got Mallow a distant third, but his dad is the one on pole, says Jake Vadegeg. That is support in the Vadegeg household if I've ever seen one here, Lindsay. But this man, quickest in practice, on screen right now. Lindsay Muddle's going to take you around a quick fire lap here at Pukekohe on board here with Benny Hines.
So here we go on board with Benny Hines as he makes his way past the start-finish line and then now into the sweeper. So just keep the car on the edge of the limit. Make sure you're neat and tidy and opened up for the next chicane. Get the left curb. Open up now the long right-hander that you've really got to nail the exit. Heading down the straight and towards the shell curve. So making your way all the way down the straight. Revving the car out. Getting up the gears. Approaching top speed. And then you've got to really be brave heading into the braking zone of the chicane. It's really tricky. You've got to slow the car up a lot there. Wasn't deep there from Hines, but definitely probably a little bit of a wrestle on the way in. And there we go, another wrestle on the way out, and then straight shot the exit before you get prepared now for the hairpin. Slow the car up. We're going to see a lot of cars side by side here in the race when people decide to have a go. And then now it is just a shot towards the final corner of the circuit. So through the left-hand kink, get it over the crest there. The car hops up just a little bit. Then you prepare yourself for the final corner. And that is a lap of Pukekohe Raceway.
Look at this. Where is he going to come across the line right now to set the opening banker of the night on a 108.4. A fair way off his time. He's about probably 5 or 6 tenths off, but still good enough at the moment to be provisionally on there. 5.5 minutes or under left to go here for Benny Hines. Gray Ward's come up and gone bang into P2 automatically there with a cracking lap. Only 6 tenths off here at the moment. The rest of the boys are starting to single file their way through. The timing tower is going to drop here at the moment. In fact, they're all having a bit of a mare at this moment trying to get these things, and the timing tower's definitely having a full-on meltdown. There goes Geitzman up into 4th place. He goes straight into it, into the 4th position. He goes at 1:10, though. That's a fair way off the pace. The rest of these boys better start getting on their gallop. Their last lap is saying that they've been doing 1:10.4s, but the timing tower having an absolute mare here tonight, and hopefully that'll sort itself out here for the rest of us. But at the moment, Benny Hines has got it by the skin of his teeth, and it's still saying he's in P1. Wonder what the rest of the boys are going to do. Nick Mallow has just crossed the line, and it's not registering a time for him. They must be doing opening laps here and only just getting their tyres warmed up, Lindsay Muddle.
Yeah, it must be, and it'll just be a case of being a little bit patient here. The timing tower definitely not doing us any favours, but when does it, Zach? The timing tower is always causing some sort of drama, no matter the sim, it seems like. Even when we did the ACC, the timing tower was having a bit of a mare, but fouls on bang up into P2, and Hines currently still holds P1, but now with a 7.9, 9 thousandths ahead of Matthias Falzon. So definitely very close up the top, and drivers still pumping in lap times. It's a big majority of the grid so far that has not got a lap time on the board. Full
B's proverbial for that guy right on screen there between himself and this man. Still circulating around and doing a good job at the moment. Holy mackerel, I don't know what's going on. Let's see if I'm going to have to go old school here and see if the official timing tower is heated up. Yeah, there we go. We've got a bit more curry on there, but still not registering enough here for the old CSP to do its thing. Not sure what is going on here in the server, but it's going for it, and we'll see what comes to fruition here for qualifying. Could be a bit of a mystery guess here. Not too sure why they're not doing it, ladies and gentlemen, but we'll find out. 109.906 there for Mr. Scotty McEwen, in fact. So he's put a good time in. Scotty Garrick's come up to third, so that's okay for him. Might even just quickly check with the configs here. Lindsay Muddle, you take it away, and I'm going to see what's going on here.
Yeah, so we're currently looking with Scotty Garrick, but a lot of people still pumping in the lap times at the moment. It's a little bit wobbly there from Scotty Garrick. We've got a lot of Scotty setting laps at the moment by the looks of it, as the timing tower going absolutely haywire with Zach O'Reilly messing around with it behind the scenes. But yeah, Benny Hines currently still has provisional pole position with a few minutes to go here in this qualifying session. Matthias Falzon, though, not that far away. So 107.9 the time to beat at the moment, and you have to go into the 8s if you want to beat it, unless you somehow manage to miraculously hit the 4 thousandths of a second that lay between there and the 8s, as Falzon still giving it a good go here as he's making his way into the hairpin as we watch off board with him as he makes his way through. So now we look to Lucas, and Zach, you're going to have to help me with that last name.
No, that's Greater X, mate. It's exactly how it's spelt and exactly how you pronounce it there, Lucas. Still inside the top 10, though. The rest of the guys are setting times here, so they are coming down in the main grand scheme of things. I wonder if people are doing track cuts or just cannot get a time on the board, but it's unlike this man to not have a time on the board. He's at a 109.7, was his last lap in Nick Mallow. We'll see if this graphic tells us any more. No, that's his outlap, so we've got no information coming through, just what the server is telling us here. There goes Lee Crowther into 7th place with a 109.1. Cracking lap for him. Very, very tight here in the mid-pack. That livery there. Full Italian mode, in fact, for him. Out there right now in the red, black, and green livery there. William Wallace himself in Hayden is really going for it tonight. Inside the top 10 also himself. So a really, really good showing here from the big man. 3/10 off his own personal best in the first sector, though, but he's going around for one more go. 109.246 is his best, as you can see there on the screen. This is Lee James, one of the lethals on the screen. There goes a car off into the distance, right up the top there. I don't know if you guys saw that, Lindsay, but he was like a SpaceX thing. That was incredible racing there from him. I don't know how he's literally flying around Pukekohe.
Yeah, well, I actually didn't catch that one in the corner of my eye, but James currently on a pretty good lap by the looks of it. His last lap was a... well, we've gone now to Fabian Fitness. I was reading the graphic, but anyway, looking at Fabian Fitness, it looks like he is just exiting the pit lane by the looks of it, so he will be getting ready here as there's 40 seconds to go in this qualifying session. So this is now it for everybody. They have to hook up the laps. This is when the pressure is on. Still a lot of drivers yet to have a time on the board, and Zach O'Reilly, the man you predicted for pole position, still in the pit lane. He doesn't have time to set a lap.
He hasn't, but it looks like the old graphic is just doing something weird here, because it's not giving us anything. Matt Munro's called it a day, though. I'm not too sure what's going on. The other Grand Mammals come through and gone bang into P8. The carburetor on screen right now in 7th place. He's come around for another lap too. Not setting any personal best there, though, however, so it's okay for him. Falzon and Hines are still P1 and 2. Tommy Cork's doing a 108.2. Hines has gone across the line and put it in the pit, so he's out. He's done for this one. What can Falzon do? He's got 2 little green sectors down the bottom there for him, but he's off the circuit too, so that's it for him. What has Tommy Corks got? He's got a couple of little green sectors there, but that was only in the first. The second was good. The next one, not so much at the moment, with a 108.294. A cracking time here from him. Is he going to be able to better out as he comes across the line here? It's going to be close. A 108. Oh, geez. Just at the end of it, a 108.294 sets exactly the same time once again. That's his best one. Dion Clerk still fanging around here. Another little bit of a sector time there. Advantage for him. What's Nick Mallow done? He's finally put a lap together here in this practice session, qualifying session, and it puts him in 9th place. However, Checkered flags waved everywhere. The timer is down to 0, by the way. Nick Mallow setting a personal best in the second sector. What has he got here for the final round? I think he's just doing a banker lap here to get it over and done. We'll see what Underground Mammals done. He's finished. He's out, so he's crossed the line with no more time left to go. Grey Ward also there, set a time of a 109.106. That's his best. His last was 110.5, so he's out of it. That looks like qualifying done, dusted. And that is your official timer on the screen there. Benny Hines is going to take P1. LS1 Ben with the 107.689. Betters his personal best in the practice session for the race. Matthias Falzon in second. Tommy Corks in third. Dion Clerk in fourth place there, Lindsay Muddle. That was close, but not close enough. Kai Upita, the half planet there in fifth place. Scotty Garrick, as all of them have exited the server, and the rest of them just going to exit because the new CSP is absolute rubbish, ladies and gentlemen. But that's qualifying. Done, won, and run. The grid is going to be set. The gentlemen out there are going to be starting to get sweaty performance injections into their hands, into their feet, and maybe some into the cranium as well there. But that was qualifying done. A 15-minute coming our way very shortly here at Sensational TV. Go and get reset, ladies and gentlemen. Quick visit to the bathroom, quick visit to the kitchen, get that cup of tea boiled, because race 1 is going to be here in just a few moments. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The race one, round two, Wednesday Cup. Where else do you want to be? You want to be right here at Sensational TV watching this one live. And I'll tell you what, that is one colourful grid, full on, ready to rock and roll. We've got over 25 cars on the grid. In fact, we've got 29 on the grid, ladies and gentlemen. No, we don't. We have 30 as well. And that is your grid right there. Benny Hines, Matthias Falzon and Tommy Corks all inside the top three there. And you can see Ben's got the most amount of ballast on, so he's going to be a hard man to catch. Dion Clerk, 5th place. Kai Ubiter in 5th place, there. Scotty Garrick in 6th. Remo Grand in 7th. Nick Mallow in 8th. Scotty Holly, the carburetor himself, in 9th. And Nick Mole takes away P10 there, Lindsay Muddle. And the rest of the grid is looking fantabulous there.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it was a really close qualifying session. And definitely a few people standing out early on in tonight's proceedings, and it's definitely going to be an interesting race ahead of us.
Oh yeah, with 1 minute and 8 seconds left to go here, they're starting to get revved up. The boys are getting amped. They're ready to go. You can see the tension here at this racetrack, and boy oh boy, it's a shame that it is gone, ladies and gentlemen. In real life, it is an absolute misdemeanor that they got rid of it. But the horse, oh no, there's a missing car on the grid. Someone has exited out really quickly. That is disaster there. Hopefully they can get back in there. I think that's P3. I think that one right there was Tommy Corks, in fact. So we'll see what he can do if he can get back in there. But look at him. Colourful. Ready to rock and roll, Lindsay Muddle. Give us your predictions here for the first race of the night. Who's going to take it?
I mean, it's hard to not back Benny Hines, but yeah, I mean, I guess Dion Clerk. I'm gonna back him again. I don't know why. I'm just I'm feeling that Dion has something magical here tonight.
Dion's got a magic under his button. We need some predictions in the chat as well. Fabian Fitness PC has died on him. He is not in there. He's unfortunately for him, but we've got a car just back on the grid in time. Is he going to make it? Because the lights are up here, ladies and gentlemen. No, he's going to start from the pit lane, unfortunately. And we are about to go racing here for race one. That is a beautiful getaway there from Benny Hines. In fact, he is off to a flying start here. And that is command right there, ladies and gentlemen, as they all stream past here. 15-minute session underway. That's Tommy Corks going really wide there. Falzon right behind him too. Getting in there. Is there enough battling behind the pack? There is. They get through cleanly there as well. Beautiful stuff. You can see them here tussling over positions. That is huge in the mid-pack there. That was Atkins there on the screen, but I think Sargilich and Great Wall came together. A huge run here there for Remo Grand has been lost because the carburetor has got past him, and now you can see them all going hammer and tong here. It's a quick, short, sharp fire. 1 minute and 8 second lap here, and it's all happening here. Oh my goodness gracious me, in the front there, Tommy Corks and Mallow got together, and it's all happening. They're going side by side, 3 or 4 wide there. Now we're making our way through. There's some contact involved as also. Holy mackerel, they're managing to get their way through pretty cleanly here on lap 1. There's Scotty McEwen staying clear of all that rubbish in front of him at the moment. Holy mackerel. We'll see what these boyos can see from the hood cam here. Scotty's going around and just seeing these cars left, right and centre. That is Sam Dooley in front of him. Up the field though, Lee Krauth has stuck himself in 9th place. Gone, thank you mother for the rabbits. I'm going to take this one, but it's Benny Hines who still leads this one by 0.6 of a second. And Matthias Falzon there as well. And there is an errant stuck car on the circuit. My goodness gracious me, Lindsay Muddle. Keep racing, keep talking.
Yep, so still a lot of racing going on. Hughes and James going side by side as well at the moment, further down the field for P16. But yeah, the small nature of these Toyotas really playing to the hand of this circuit, leaving everybody space to race absolutely everywhere around this circuit. And it's really showing at the moment. There's a couple of drivers falling down the field.
Oh, no!
That's Fabian Fitness off in the bunda. He rejoins, bouncing up and over the curb. And who's that in the background as well? That's Husey, who's off the track, and now he rejoins down in a P28. That is not how you want to be starting your race, especially here in Wednesday Cup when the races are so short and the chances to get back are so slim. So that is absolutely not an ideal start to the night there for Hughes. As meanwhile, back up the front, Falzon all over the back of Scotty Garrick as they make their way now through this lap of Pukekohe, as they make their way through the final corner and up towards the line. He's basically pushing his way through into the run towards turn number 1. There's still a car stuck on the circuit there out of the final corner, but now the run through the sweeper and towards the braking zone. Will he go for it? Will Falzon go for it? No, he's not going to go for it. Meanwhile, up the road, Hines is absolutely booked at 1.4 seconds. Mello in the background of Falzon, though, is also trying to put the pressure on. So you have Falzon trying to get past Scotty Garrick, and then you have Mello trying to go for it on Falzon. And then behind Mello, he has to worry about Tommy Corks as well, who's trying to go for it. And this is now going to be nearly 3 wide as they head into the next right-hander. It's still side by side. Falzon is on the outside and Mello is going to get it done. But now the switchback attempt here from Matthias Falzon doesn't quite work. He doesn't get the drag out of the corner as they head into the hairpin, and he's not going to be able to get back alongside. This is cracking stuff early on here in this race at Pukekohe.
Look at them go, boys. That is fantastic driving from Mello and Falzon. Fair, hard, clean racing. That's what you want to see. And I'll tell you what, these boys have given us exactly that so far. What's happened to Mr. James? He's off the track there in the background. That is disaster. Oh, even it's so there too. Another spinner of Greater X. He's facing the wrong way. Disaster for the big man there. He won't want to be doing that too many times in the race, but it's still hammer and tong at the front here at the moment. Look at Falzon versus Mello. Still only 0.2 of a second gap between the two of them. They're driving the absolute tits off these cars at this stage. Brilliant driving from Nick Mello, brilliant driving from there, and look who is in P2 after all of that. Scotty Garrick on some form, the best used car salesman this side of the Southern Hemisphere, and in Toyota dealership land, driving a Toyota here, sending the boys proud there up in New South Wales. Good on you, Scotty, and hopefully you can catch Benny Hines, but it looks like 1.6 seconds. It's going to take a bit of timing tower issues as well, giving us the absolute mare. Once again, Ezra Simons has entered, but he's not there. Ignore that nonsense going on there in the back. But look at Tommy Corks and Upert. I'll tell you what, Upert has got the old brazen bits tonight. He's having a good old tussle, and he thinks about it. You can see Tommy Corks up there in front of him, and you can see just by that little graphic there on the side, he's got 0.7 of a second to go. But I tell you what, it's not much of a gap here between Sarge Illich now. In P12, he is. Hayden Wallace is in front of him, side by side into the final turn. No way, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to work. Scotty Garrick does the fastest lap of the race, 107.9 into the sub-minute 8s there at the moment is Scotty. But look at Sarge. He's trying everything at the moment. Nick Moles had a mare too further up the grid. He's sailed past. The carburetor has got him as well. But Sarge really pushing the envelope here on William Wallace, the cop car, handing out defects left, right and centre here. Lindsay Muddle, and look at that into turn 3 we go. Turn 4 up onto the straight. Is he going to get a run onto the back straight? It doesn't look like it at this stage. Cracking driving there from the both of them. Is there some suck here? And you can see the defect stickers on the dashboard. He's ready to hand them out.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, you'll also have the lights and sirens running. We just can't see them. Because they're too bright, they're absolutely blinding us, and he's saying get out of the way, otherwise I will pit maneuver you out of the way. But I think actually more like it's going to be a pretty clean overtake here. He's racing very well at the moment, is Sarge, and he's being very respectful of the cars around him, as meanwhile Mello and Falzon are about to go side by side again for another tussle as they make their way through the left-hander, and then now it's the run up through this long right-hander. They're still side by side. Mello trying to hold on, but he's being shuffled to the outside as they make their way towards the sweeper. Surely the outside run isn't going to work, but it also does give him the inside for the first braking zone. But he decides to slot his nose back in behind Matthias Falzon, who manages to get P3 or hold on to P3, depending on the order they were in. I completely forget, but they still have the cars looming in the background behind. They cannot fight too hard, so that's exactly what they're doing at the moment. They're just staying fairly relaxed. They're swapping around, but they don't want to allow Tommy Corks back into it, as well as Upiter.
No, not at all. And Tommy's got a really good run because the more that those two guys battle in front, he's going to be right up the rear end there of Nick Mallow. You can see on board the car have a bit of a lock up there from Falzon coming into the first of the back chicane sections. We go out the other side and fanging it into the right-hander here for another tight right-hander coming up. Tommy hasn't got the run there, unfortunately for him. We see them file around here. Falzon's gone deep. Tommy went really wide there, and he's going to be under threat here from the half planet himself in Upita, but he couldn't get the run off that corner as well as he wanted to. So play on here for the big boyos. They're racing hammer and tong here, and I'm telling you what, this is cracking stuff from these guys. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th can be in for this one, and it's still happening up and down the field at the moment. Benny Hines is still taking this lead by an absolute barnstormer at the moment. Nick Mallow having a half a look there as well, as you can see on Matthias Falzon once again. Only 0.2 of a second gapping him. Cracking racing from these two. Just full on balls to the wall action, and they're keeping it clean in the meantime. Look at that for half a run here for Nick Mallow. Let's see what he can do. Is he far enough up? It looks like we've got a good onboard suckage cam here at the moment, but it looks like Falzon had the initial run there in the jump, and he's just edging away ever so slightly there, as you can see, coming into the heavy braking zone, into the first of the chicanes we go. Slam it in. The car nose dives, dips and under. Falzon locking up once again. Just characteristics of his setup there, I reckon, on the brake pedal for him. But look at Mallow now. He's got a beautiful run here. He's side by side with him. This could be galloping on here for Nick Mallow. Can he try the long way around, or is he going to go for the switch back up and under move? He goes for it. Doesn't get the job done, though. However, these boys are giving it everything at the moment. He's right up his rear clacker. He's going to be bump drafting here, Lindsay Buttle, on the final 2 corners of the racetrack here. And we've got 7 minutes to go. This battle is never, ever over until one boy checks the checkered flag first. Cracking racing.
Yeah, once again, Mallow has a good run towards turn 1, but is it going to be close enough through this sweeper to try and make a move into the chicane? I don't know. He has such a good run, but is it going to be enough? And meanwhile, Corks as well in the background is just there. So this battle really kicking off. That was really wide there for Falzon. So this allows Mallow to have a great run, but he hops over the curb. That compromises his exit. Here is Corks arriving on the scene, and he's now going to have the inside line as they make their way into the next complex of corners. They're drag racing down the straight, through the bit of the right-hand kink, and then now into the braking zone they go. Corks inching ahead, but still it is Mallow trying to give it a good run as they head through the exit and now towards the hairpin. Cork still on the inside line. Mellow's going to be hard pressed to try it the long way around. Corks backs the nose out. Mallow, though, still leaving enough racing room. Cork still giving it a good go. They're still side by side as they head out of the hairpin and then now through the left-hand kink. Corks has to back out of it. Falzon breathing a sigh of relief. He now has a gap behind him, and Mallow is going to have to deal with the attacking Tommy Corks.
Oh, what a great race. Tussle there from the rest of them. That was good stuff to ride on board and see what these guys are doing. But it's Tommy Corks now putting the pressure on Nick Mallow. Won't be used to this one, is Nicholas. Getting hounded in the back end of this race. Is the big man in front. He usually is up there in the winners list, but he's getting hounded here by Tommy, who's just come out of nowhere and just said, thank you, I'm going to start racing hard. And so with the half planet behind him in Upita too. So it's good to see him right there at the start of this race, right fighting for a good top 5 position here, but he's got a bit of work to do. He's got a half a suck here. You can see the gap now, only 1.5 of a second, but he's going to pull out of it. Vox is in Tommy's gone defensive, and I reckon Upita's got half a run here. Has he got the overlap? He has. Oh, there could be some contact between the two of them. Just a bee's dick between the two bumpers there, and it's out the other side. Goes Tommy Corks there over Upita. Wow, he had a good stab at that one. I'm telling you, these guys up the front are absolutely hammer and tonging it at the moment. It is good to see, and it's still all cracking off here in the background there. You can see the carburetor and Nick Mole having a good old tussle here. The carburetor's just put on it too rich at the moment and choked out of that corner, and the other Grand Mammal's got the job done. He's promoted himself up into P8. He goes. Can he make it around the final corner without going off to the bunda? He can, but he's really going to be under pressure here because here comes the carburetor again. He's switched up the fuel mixture and he's going up the inside once again. Is Scott Holly. Holy mackerel indeed. In fact, he is beat past him once again. Only lost that position for 2 corners and into P8 7 once again he goes. Beautiful stuff from these boys. What a fantastic tussle here we're seeing from all the guys inside the top 10.
Yeah, it really is. And also another competitor that's really making inroads and is really impressing me at the moment is Matt Munro. There you go. You already knew it before I was saying it. Zach O'Reilly, he didn't set a qualifying lap. He stayed in the pit lane. He's already in 12th position. What a race he is having. There's still 4 minutes to go. He's got a bit of a gap in front of him, but still from where he was to P12 is seriously some impressive driving.
Oh, definitely. And same with this man behind him too. Fabian Fitness going for the move up the inside. Oh, beautiful overtake there from Fabs. Him and Matt Munro got stitched up in qualifying by not adhering to track limits there. Everyone else managed to, but these boys got caught out. That is why they are so far down the grid. But boy, oh boy, with a reverse top 10 coming their way. Oh, that was very ambitious there from Grey Ward. Not too happy about that one. But Fabian and Matt Munro climbing their way through the field with 3 minutes and 22 left in this one. Benny Hines has crossed the line with 10 laps in at the moment. So we've got a couple more to go here in the race one. Geez, it hasn't been short of any battling at the moment. Even Sam Dooley's having a good crack here. This is 15th and 16th. Joshy Sadler as well in front of him. He's driving around there. One of the 7 Speed Nation cars as well on the circuit. If you're in New Zealand, get yourself into Speed Nation. They've got Thrustmaster. They've got next level gear as well. You got flight controls. You got pedals. You got everything you want in that one thing. And these boys representing them very nicely indeed. And I'm telling you now, that is a little battle to look out for also coming up. But the Underground Mammal, back to him. Fighting over P7 here with the carburetor has not let go here, Lindsay Muddle. There's still only 3/10 away from a good old tussle here. 2 minutes 36 left in this one and 2 laps to go. Anything could happen. A half a cent here, I reckon, from Underground Mammal. He's going to burrow his way back into 7th place over the Carby.
Yeah, I think you're right here. Nick Mole and Scott Holly having a big ding-dong battle at the moment. They are really going for it as they head through into the final corner and then the run to turn 1. So just bleed it off the throttle and then power back out. It's all about the run. If you want to have a run through the sweeper and then into the small little chicane that we have after it, we've seen not many side-by-side moments through there. A lot of people choosing to back out of it, but when there's 2 minutes to go in a race with a minute lap time, this is now when the gloves come off and when drivers just get a little bit more audacious with their moves. Speaking of audacious, Tommy Corks, there you go. Once again, Zach O'Reilly reading my mind, sitting up behind Nick Mello. That gap about 5/10, so we could see some last-second, last-ditch overtake attempts here for P4 as well. Nick Mello not particularly close enough to Matthias Falzon though, unless Falzon makes a mistake, but Cork's still sitting there as a cork in the bottle, one could say, as they head through into the hairpin. He's still well within striking distance of Nick Mello if the time is right.
That is not a graphical error there. That is genuine LED neons inside Tommy Corks' car. I'm going to call it the disco car. It's chrome on the outside, purple on the inside. And now, I'll tell you what, if that isn't blinding to you guys out there, I don't know how he drives it, but he's made an error there, is Tommy. And I think those LEDs are just starting to get to his head, unfortunately, for him, because he's just given up any chance, I reckon, now for a battle there with Nick Mello over 5th place. But that's okay. He's in a top 5. He's happy with that. Where's the next closest battle on the track at this stage? It looks like these two are going over it again. And it looks like Nick Mole's got past him. Oh, sorry, Nicholas. We just missed you. Getting back past the carburetor. Now it's going to be half a run once again here onto the back straight. Can Sam Holly get that job done? I keep calling him Sam. His name's Scott. Can he get that job done, for crying out loud? He's not close enough here. 3 and a bit tenths of a second. This is for P7 and 8. They've been going at it all race here for this time. And I'll tell you what, they're not letting go of each other. Any mistake here from Nick Mole into that corner, there is. But Holly there has not got enough in the tank. He's just a little bit of a sniff closer. But we're going to have to go over to this man who has taken the race from P1 in qualifying, led it every single goddamn lap here tonight for race 1 out of 3 tonight. But the first blood and the first cut of the lamb's head is off to Benny Hines. P1 for him. He's going to take... Oh, shit, it's actually done me far out. Oh, my goodness. It's 4 seconds left. I thought he was over. And holy cowabunga. Now the leader's on the final lap, but he's going to take it anyway, so we'll just pretend that never happened. Scotty Garrick in 2nd place. Still 1 more lap to go here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man, I feel like a dickhead. And now, because that car has gone black here, Tommy Corks' brain is starting to fry here, Lindsay Buttle. That's what I've been predicting. Once it goes to black, it's all over for anyone in front of him, because they're going to gallop away. But Benny Hines still leading by 6.5 seconds here. And with the final lap of the race here on this one, where is Fabian Fitness? There he is. He's in 12th. He's on watch there. He's trying to get himself inside the top 10. Matt Munro, however, has done so. A reverse top 10 coming his way. He is going to start off pole for the next one. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, what a drive from Matt Munro. That is definitely drive of the race in my eyes, going from no qualifying lap to now he should be on pole for next race. So what a turnaround that is. He should be able to hopefully convert that at least into a top 3. That's good points, especially considering that he didn't get a qualifying lap on the board. But here's Benny Hines. Zach said it once, I'm going to say it again. He wins in race 1. Benny Hines takes first blood here in Wednesday Cup. That is a sensational drive to drive away from the field. Now he has a task ahead of him to try the reverse top 10 to P1. Scotty Garrett gets P2. Matthias Falzon gets P3. Nick Mello holds on from the attacking Tommy Corks for P4. Corks gets 5th. Upita gets 6th. Nick Mole gets 7th. And Holly rounds out your top 8.
Yep, absolutely cracking driving from everyone inside the top 10. Lee Crowther as well, to stick it where it is and just keep that Matt Munro behind him for, honestly as well, for 2.5 seconds there between this man. This guy's going to be off pole in Matt Munro, rounds out the top 10. Fabian just missed out there, so he's going to have to climb through the field once again. You can tell he's angry. He's ready to rock and roll for the next one. Watch out for that man too there. Hayden Wallace in 12th place. Gray Ward in 13th. Colton Atkins in 14th place, just sitting there doing nothing. Remo Grand in 15th. Another Speed Nations driver, Sargilic, 16th. Sam Dooley, the Hooly Dooley in the Pertec livery there, in 17th place. Paul Buttigieg, the senior of the two, representing Air Malta tonight, gets 18th. Ezra Simons, 19th position for him. Nathan Hughes in 20th, and they're all having a good old time on the in lap here coming in. Joshy Sadler, 21st. Greater X, Park, James, Conan, Geitzman, our German compatriot there. Dion Clerk, disappointing there. That man has had an absolute mare for that one, so he's going to be starting way down the green in 27th. Scotty McEwen's put in the pits, 28th. He's had enough. Rob Priest, load sail we call him, in 29th. And Brian Craven, I'll tell you what, he'll be craving something more than a 30th position after that one. Lindsay Muddle, but cracking drive there from Benny Hines nonetheless.
Yeah, that was a fantastic race number 1 here in the Wednesday Cup round 2. And I think there's a lot more ahead of us. And I'll tell you what, I have a comms curse with Dion Clerk, and you have a comms blessing there for Matt Munro. You predicted him for pole. Well, he got pole eventually, just not the pole you predicted him for.
Eventually he got there, but that's okay. He's going to be on pole at least. So if the terms and conditions apply, I've definitely got pole position. So let's just keep it at that for now. I've won the bet. Thank you very much. But a good evening to all of our viewers. We've got 30 of you having a good old watch here at the moment. Hello to you all. Good evening to everyone in the chat. Brian Florence is in there as well. Good to see you, my old friend. Ron Marshall's in there as always. We've got BZR 5150. As we know, that is Feral Verrill. Good to see you as well there. Fabian's in there. Brendan Hartley, ex-Formula 1 driver's in there too. Good to see him. But a cracking event so far. And we've got 2 more to go, ladies and gentlemen. So sit back, relax, get yourself strapped in. And it's going to be all on here. We've got a reverse top 10, 16 minutes of racing coming our way here for race 2. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, and that is what we got in that race 1. That was fantastic driving from Benny Hines to get P1, but it is a reverse top 10 grid now, and that means one Matt Munro is starting off the front row here. Let's quickly go through the grid with a minute 25 left in this one for race 2. Matt Munro, Lee Crowther, and the carburetor take out the top 3. Nick Mole, Kai Upita, the half planet there. Tommy Corks, the cork in the bottle, so to speak, in 6th place. Nick Mallow, 7th place for him. Matthias Falzon in 8th, who got 3rd in the last race. 9th for Scotty Garrick, who got 2nd. And then Benny Hines, the man, in 10th place. And he's got a very, very angry man behind him there, Lindsay Muddle and Fabian Fitness for this one.
Yeah, and it's really interesting now. I'm actually really interested to see how Matt Munro's going to go after such a good comeback drive in race 1. He now starts off pole. Can he run away with it, or is he going to be in just a little bit of limbo, just leading the race? And meanwhile, you have the likes of Benny Hines closing up behind him. I think that's one of the things that's definitely good to keep an eye on. But with the pace that he's shown so far, he definitely has the ability to try and run away.
Oh, yeah, he certainly does. We'll see if that comes to fruition here for Matt Munro tonight. He's got the best opportunity to make amends for that qualifying misdemeanor here, but with 20 seconds to go and counting, we have got the lights up in 4 seconds. There we go. They are ready to rock and roll. That means the boyos are getting ready to race here. And these guys are going to race hammer and tong. Can Matt Munro get a beautiful start here? We've got 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights ready to rock and roll for this one. And we're going to see Matt Munro take it away here. Yes, he has. He's got a good start there. Pretty tardy from him, but also for Lee Crowther. So a really, really nice job from all of those boyos. And now they're going hammer and tong here into turn 1 we go. Racing here. Matt Munro still got the lead here at the moment. So a good showing from him. He's going to be okay with all of that. Now we've got Lee Crowther behind. Oh, having a good crack here. The Underground Mammal's going backwards here at a rate of knots somehow. But he's got that job done. You can see a single file train of cars. There goes Nick Mallow up the inside. Or any outside actually there, because he's got the job done. Tommy Corks is going for him as well. So the Underground Mammal here under all sorts of pressure here on the opening lap. They're 3 wide coming down the back straight here at Pukekohe. Even 4 wide nearly make it. Oh, who's going to make this one? Tommy gets up the inside. He does too. So he's got that job done easily. Nick Mallow's got into 5th place himself. So he's sailing away. The back is all happening here. You can see it cracking on. Wallace is involved. Grey Ward's right next to him too. These guys not giving each other an inch at all at the moment. Wallace trying a long way around here. On Hayden Wallace is that man. Look at the battle in front. Fabian's trying to get involved in this one, starting from 11th. He's in 10th. He's made a position up already. There is the man who got 2nd in the last race. Scotty Garrick right in front of him, rounding the final turn. Matt Munro leads this one with 0.6 of a second, gapped already in the first. And I'm telling you now, ladies and gentlemen, this is heating up, and the mid-pack has not let go. Lindsay Battle here.
Yeah, and they're still battling away. Fabian Fitness is nearly side by side with Benny Hines. In fact, they were briefly wheel to wheel. Now they head into the chicane. Matt Munro taking away this race the exact way he needs to. And he needs to continue to bridge that gap so he has time behind him if he needs it. So now, still the battling continues. Hines still trying to find his way up towards the tippity top of the grid, but currently he's sitting in 11th, 10th positions away from where he finished the last race. So still, there's a lot of battling going on as Scotty Garrick is on the outside and Nick Mole, they're going to go side by side through the chicane. And then now they're going to power out and make their way towards the hairpin. That's a big snap there from Nick Mole. This invites Ward into it as well as they head into the hairpin. Nick Mole trying to defend it, but he's just tumbling down this field as this race goes on. It's only lap 2, and he's just tumbling down as fast as you can see him tumble down the order without a huge mistake. As Dion Clark as well, fighting with Pukekohe at the moment further down in P18. Matt Munro still leading this race here come lap 2, 13.5 minutes as we go now to Fabian Fitness. And he's trying at the outside, surely not, he's powering out, he's just trying to inch ever closer as he's trying at the outside line now on Scotty Garrick, but he couldn't get it done. Looks like there's more battling going on for the podium places as well. Hooper and Holly swapping around, they're battling as they now head down the long straight and towards the chicane. This is just going to be about picking your braking point correctly and being on the inside, which Scott Holly is not on the inside. That belongs to Hooper. He gets forced out. Now here comes Nick Mello, the long way around. If he gets a good exit, will have the inside line for the hairpin. He has got the inside line. Here comes Nick Mello, pulling alongside, down the inside. He's inching ahead, and now he's inching forward and further away from Scott Holly as they head into the final sector. Fantastic racing up the front.
Beautiful stuff there, Lindsay Muddle. Great calling. And I'm telling you, these boys are not giving anything to each other. They're giving no miles, no inches, nothing. And I'm telling you, boys, go hard and go fast here at Wednesday Cup. Nick Mellow's made his way through the field into 4th place. Now he's got Upiter in front of him, having a good old crack. Is Nick Mellow? Is he going to look up the inside? No, he's not. Here into this one, but Corks, Holly, and Falzon all separated by 2.5 tenths, and Mallow as well over Upiter. So you've got about a 5 or 6 car suck train. We can see here as we round turn 4 we go. Now up into the straight we head here at Pukekohe. Jeez Louise, incredible racing from all of them. This is the back of the pack there. Falzon has got Scotty Gary for company. Then he's got Fabian Fitness, in fact, and Benny Hines. So we've got every single bloke here from P7 downwards inside the top 10 in reverse order, all having a good old tussle. This is going to be extraordinary. Tommy Corks is in. Oh, touch there from Falzon. He just got touched in the back there by Scotty Garrett, but he got away with it. Now Fabian Fitness is going to have a crack. What can he do up the inside? Is he going to push the issue? No, he's not. He's just sitting there as well. Up in front there as well, you can see a beautiful little gap here from Nick Mello. He is 100% all over the arse here of Kai Upiter. The New Zealanders would wish that was a sheep in front of Nick Mello, I'm telling you. But these boys are going hammer and tong. Upiter's got a beautiful run there on Nick Mello. Got that job done out of there and just gallops away. Gapped him 3 tenths. Fabian, however, has got Scotty Gary for company now. Crosses the start finish line. We go into turn 1. The fast sweeping right-hander on the outside. They go 2 by 2. Noah's Ark style here. Scotty Garrick's defending for his life here at the moment. So is the guys in front. We've got Falzon and Holly having a switch for positions too. You cannot look anywhere on the screen at the moment. Falzon's in there. We've got Scotty Garrick in that one. Sam Holly, Fabian Fitness. It is now a freight train here. Here comes Benny Hines at the back of this one. Let's see what he can look at on the front. Look at this battle in front here. We have got absolute titans going at it. Fabian Fitness muscling his way through the field. Squirrely under brakes. Touches there. Oh, beautiful stuff there from Hines. Just sails around it. Gets Fabian Fitness, I think, at this stage. And side by side, in fact, to be honest. Here we go from the outside view. Having a crack. Fabian's got the advantages inside line. Oh, falls there from Fabian on Falzon. Falzon's lost a position. Is Fabian going to give that one back? Surely he's going to. No, he just keeps fucking off into the distance. Off he goes. And he's just saying, nope, that's fair enough. I'm playing for sheep stations here. No pun intended in New Zealand. But he's got Benny Hines has got in front of him. The man who won race 1, Lindsay Muddle. Oh, geez Louise, that was exciting.
Straight line, hairpin and drive off. Fabian Fitness must think he's Max Verstappen or something as he makes his way. Chicane, definitely interesting tactics just to absolutely belt it through and take it out as wide as possible. But once again, he's on the charge here. He has Benny Hines in the sights. It looks like as well we just had a swap for P3 as well between Mello and Upiter. Here comes Tommy Corks though. He's behind Upiter. He's next to try and overtake as he heads into the next chicane. He has the outside line. There's a bit of a squirm under brakes there as it's a little bit wide off the apex there for Upiter. Tommy Corks sees it coming though. Leaves the room. Benny Hines has been overtaken by Fabian Fitness, who's on an absolute charge at the moment. Falzon now is next to attack the race 1 winner. Will he look up the inside? It looks like he's thinking about it, but he doesn't go for it. Meanwhile, Scotty Garrick and Scott Holly swap around, so it's the 2 Scots going at it at the moment as they head through this final sector, and still it's all kicking off here. It's side by side with Hines and Fitness. Hines gets the place back. Fabian's not done yet though, and Matthias Falzon as well looking in the background as Tommy Corks moves up past Upiter as into turn 1. Surely not. Fabian Fitness trying to take it to the grass here on the inside of the sweeper, being left no room to breathe absolutely at all here as he tries the outside. It's not going to work. He's trying to get the elbows out any which way or the other that he possibly can. Falzon arrives on the scene. He arrives and is watching all of this in front of him. He wouldn't want a bar of it. As they head down the straight, he's going to wait for calamity. Fabian Fitness trying to cause all the possible carnage that he can possibly conceive.
Jeez Louise, absolutely sensational. Look at him under brakes here, going for hammer and tong style here. Just no prisoners taken here for Fabian tonight. Benny Hines is just thinking, how am I going to get past Scotty Garrick here? Because I've got to focus one side or at the other end of my car. I don't know which way to look. Look at Fabian, full aggressive, just absolutely sending it under brakes there. Which way he's going to go, doesn't know. Benny's not phased though, however, and he's focused on his exit there, so he's gapped Fabian a little bit. Now Benny Hines has got half a look here at Scotty Garrick. Can they make it through the final 2 turns of the racetrack? 11, in fact, total here at Pukekohe. This one's the hardest one to master, and it looks like they've both got the job done, but I think at this rate, it looks pretty much a dead set even battle here. Little bit of suckage going on here for Benny Hines on Scotty Garrick. Is he going to go up the inside? No, he's thinking about it. Scotty's gone full wide there. The used car salesman's got to hand out deals left, right, and centre. Is he going to take the commission home? Oh, up over the curb they go. Let's trot, says Scotty Garrick in front of him on that number plate. He's definitely doing that and a bit more here. How fitting for Pukekohe Raceway. But Benny Hines, Scotty Garrick battle still goes on for another lap here. In fact, look at Nick Mallow. He's getting ever closer here to a P2 here. Lee Crowther's got that position at the moment. But how long for? Because Nick Mallow is on a charge. Oh, there's an errant Upiter, in the background there, going off the field. He's Mr. Benny Hines has got overdone here. Look at this battle. Fabian's muscled his way through again. Oh my goodness gracious me, it's all over once again. Monkey see, monkey do, Groundhog Day. Fabian's gone full defense mode. Is he going to punt Garrick? No, he's missed him. But now we've got Benny Hines, we've got Nick Moe, we've got Matthias Falzon involved in that one as well. And then you've got a very, very lap traffic car getting out of the way, trying to cause all that carnage. And Benny Hines has come out the biggest loser in that one. I'll tell you what, for the ballast deciding he won't mind too much about that one. But now Fabian is at the front of this pack because he's got Scotty Garrick a little bit of breathing room now. These boys are not having any shy at the imagination of what and where to go racing, I'm telling you. Nick Mallow still trying to get his way into P2 there as well in your timing tower. In fact, it's happened because Lee Crowther's undone himself. He is full unforced errored himself out of the game that Rafael Nadal style Wimbledon 2008. And that is the win there for Kai Hupiter over Lee Crowther. Nick Mallow's got up into P2, the easiest overtake of his night. But I'm telling you, it's not over here. This battle is still going on here, Lindsay Battle. Have a look at them all.
Yeah, and Falzon looking to the outside, but we know Fabian is on an absolute charge at the moment, so he'll be looking forward. I don't even think he's going to be looking in his mirrors to see if there's cars behind attacking. He's just thinking, how fast can I get past Scotty Garrick? But right now, I think he has to be looking in his mirrors. There's still more swapping. That's around the outside here for Benny Hines. He's trying it on Matthias Falzon as they're still racing. He's squeezed nearly onto the grass over the top of the curb. Surely not here for Benny Hines. He's now trying to get the elbows out. This racing is absolutely cracking, but it's a little bit of a compromised exit there out of the final corner for Benny Hines. Meanwhile, Fabian Fitness got as good of an exit as he could possibly hope for, but Falzon got a better one. Here he goes, surely not through the sweeper. He's going to try it. Fitness on the outside. There's nearly contact between the two of them. There is contact. Fabian's gone. He's off into the bunda. He catches it on the grass and he's back rejoined into the back of the battle. He's not going to be happy. His visor was already filled with red mist. Now it's just going to be absolutely melting from the steam coming out of his ears. He is going to be fuming. Fabian Fitness, now surely we lie in wait and see what he has planned next.
Full Chernobyl explosion, I reckon, here. Nuclear inside the fitness cockpit at the moment. That helmet is probably going to be all in pieces by the end of this one. Oh, Scotty Garrick and the carburetor are going at it. I think Scotty just maybe made himself out of that one there because he got back into that position as well. We've got a bit of battling going on too here. What's happened to Atkins? He's facing the wrong way in the background here. Over 17th, 18th, 19th. Greater X has got past him. Thank you very much, mother, for the rabbits, he says. But the battling is still going on at this stage between these two drivers. Falzon versus Garrick. Scotty Garrick on an absolute form streak here, and I'm telling you, carburetor got an absolute mare out of that one. He is full losing positions here too. What can we see overhead? Is there going to be a move from Falzon on the carby? I think there is here. He's going to sail around the outside, but the carburetor's gone for it. Falzon's overdone it onto the curbs. Oh, full on nearly contact there between the two drivers. Falzon's car control. Full absolute, look at that in the background too. Carnage, I was going to say, and carnage between Hines and Fitness. Drag race style here. Monkey see action here between the two of them. Oh, but a dog banging too. Get absolutely stuffed, the both of them. Hines has come out better on that one, I'm telling you now, between Fabian Fitness. Not happy at each other at these two, muscling each way. Fabian's around the outside, up the inside he goes here as well. And he's going to take this position because Benny Hines hasn't got the overlap. So Fabian dominates P10 and 9 and says, I'll take that one. Look at Crowther and Upiter going at each other here too. We can see them hammering Tonga. And there goes Crowther. He's recovering from that errant unforced error he had earlier on in this race. We've got 3 minutes and 29 seconds left in this one to go. And I'll tell you what, it's popping off here at the front here too, Lynch Battle. It's Corks versus Mallow.
Yeah, and Corks and Mello are side by side, and he's trying the outside of the sweeper. He wants the inside for the next chicane, but it's not going to work. Corks holds on to P2 as these two continue to battle away, as Upito also moving past Crowther by the looks of it in the background as well. But here we go. Once again, Nick Mello eyeing up an overtake with all the slipstream he could possibly muster up here. He's right underneath the small rear wing, bar it being a rear wing here in towards the next chicane, but still he's not going to be close enough. Nick Mello living to fight another day. I don't think the battle between a lot of these guys is over just yet as well. Scotty Garrick very close, Crowther all over the back as well of Upiter, and actually he gets that place as Scott Holly battling away as well with Falzon in front as Fitness and Hines are swapping around again. I can see it on the timing tower as Crowther's gone. That is him off the circuit as well as Scott Holly. It's disaster here up the front. 2 cars off the circuit at the chicane. That is not what you want to be doing. Crowther still stopped on the side of the road here with 2 minutes remaining as now we look to Hines versus Fabian Fitness. These two have been battling in definitely an interesting manner, but they're not done yet here. There's still 2 laps to go by the looks of the timing tower here in Pukekohe, and these two giving it all the elbows, all of the gloves off moments they can possibly imagine, and there's still a bit of it to go.
Oh, look at them facing each other. Backwards, sideways, whichever way you want. They're going racing and going hard, and they're trying to catch up to this little battle pack. You can see off there in the distance, Falzon versus Garrick, and Falzon's had a mare there. That's going to release Scotty Garrick there because he's got Jupiter in front of him. The half planet right at the moment coming under all sorts of pressure. 0.3 of a second. In fact, now Benny Hines is only 0.2 away from Fabian. Fabian's gone defensive here. You can see the braking zones for the both of them. Fabian's going to pull it up there at the last moment. Beautifully done. He's gone. Oh, Benny Hines with the full send. Just fully shows the nose up the inside. No contact made. Oh, no, Benny. He's just caught it. Oh, geez, that was close. But he's going to give up that battle. Fabian's going to breathe a sigh of a relief here. I'm telling you now. But at the moment, it looks like these little battle packs have started to fizzle out a bit with 1 minute and 5 left in this one. Matt Munro's just crossed the line. Oh, my goodness gracious me. It's going to be about a second or two between the finish timing tower and the finish line here for Matt Munro by the time he gets it done. He's commanded that race by a long stretch of the imagination. Just dominated 7 seconds and a half, in fact, over that man. In front of Nick Mello, Tommy Corks here, who is trying to get that job done because this could be the penultimate lap of the race. I'm not going to do a race one and call it just yet because Matt Munro is fair way out in front and launching his way through this field. But at the moment, it is P3 between Corks and Mello, only 0.2 of a second. In fact, look at Falzon now. He has got a beautiful run here on Scotty Garrick on the penultimate lap here. This could be it. Falzon has got the job done on Scotty, and it's into P5 he goes, but it's going to be 4-4. It's got his trailer park girl move style, and he's got the job done. He's going to muscle Falzon out. Here comes Fabian. Fabian's going for the muscle himself. He's deadlifting and injecting testosterone into his veins as we speak. Mid-corner he goes. He's trying to go the long way around. He's just going to be the last lap of the race. It is. Matt Munro's going to cross the line now, but it's happening here between Falzon and Fitness. He's muscled his way through. The testosterone has reached peak levels here, but Falzon's trying to push all the way to the end. I don't think it's going to be enough. Fabian Fitness is going to get back into P6. Take it. Scotty Garrick's just going to survive here for P5. In fact, photo finish between those guys. Oh my goodness gracious me. It was all knocking off there between those two. 5, 6, 7th and 8th was the hardest fought battle I've ever seen in my life there. But Matt Munro has to take the crown, and the chalk is undeservedly for some, but most deservedly for him in the grand scheme of things. 6.5 seconds there between himself and Tommy Corks, who gets P2. Nick Mello, 0.3 behind him at the end of it in 3rd place. Jupiter in 4th, and then these three absolute psychopaths. Garrick, Fitness, Falzon, and Benny Hines round out your top 8, Lindsay Muddle.
Wow, oh wow. What a finish that was, and Fabian Fitness. Wow, that was definitely some interesting driving over the course of that one, but he manages to get a last lap overtake at the right moment, and he did it without contact as well. Tommy Corks as well, giving it a good drift here on the in lap. Matt Munro, though, converts a pole to victory, so he is absolutely smashing it at the moment, but now he'll start P12 for the next one, if I'm not mistaken. Dion Clerk, though, finishing P9. That is a very good result. He started down in P28, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's overtaker of the night there, Lindsay Muddle, I would say. Great stuff from him. Nick Mole gets 10th place after being muscled out in race 1. A better result for him in race 2. He'll be happy. That is Nathan Hughes there as well. We'll go to these on boards to see what they're doing in 11th. Scotty Holly, the Carby, Fighting over P5 there. Ends up in 12th. Grey Ward in 13th. Sarge Illich 14th. Greater X in 15th. Still going around. Colton Atkins there in 16th. Ezra Simons disappointing 17th for him. The other Speed Nation driver out there. Paul Buttigieg in 18th. 2 18ths for Paul Buttigieg tonight. In fact, 19th for Sam Dooley. Joshy Sadler in 20th. Remo Grand. All of these Speed Nation guys. All P20 and 21. Jimmy Park, Wallace, Conan. Load cell, where are you, mate? If you're out there, you know what you're doing, but you've exited the server too early. Scotty McEwen, 26, disappointing for him. Geitzman, our German warrior, as well out there in 27th. Lee James in 28th, man with 2 first names. Lee Crowther in 29th. And Brian Craven, well, he got 30th in the first race. He's keeping it consistent. We've got to give him the consistency hat there, Lindsay Muddle. He's in 30th and dead set last for that race too. But that man... at the top of your list who's not in the server anymore. In fact, no one's in the server anymore. Matt Munro took that one by the skin of his teeth and just ripped it out. Got P1, and that means we've got race 3 and the final one of the night coming up, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not been entertained, I'm very, very disappointed because that was dead set the absolute best tussle I've ever seen over the minor placings for a long shot. And we're going to get more of it with a reverse top 12 coming your way here, ladies and gentlemen. 17 minutes for the final dance here at Wednesday Cup tonight. I'm excited. Lindsay Muddle's excited. I can hear him all the way from Canberra to Victoria, as super as excited as he possibly be. So without further ado, get yourself strapped in, get that last beverage poured into your cups, and refill those condiments, because we'll be back for race 3 in just a few moments.
The need to believe in yourself, yourself. You want to believe in yourself, yourself. The need to believe in you want to believe in yourself.
don't you just love a good old-fashioned hard race over the minor positions there, ladies and gentlemen? That is what we got in race 2, but it is now the final dance of the night. Round 2 is going to be fully won, done and run, but by who here at the Wednesday Cup? Because we've got Lucas Greaterex off the start there with Sargilic and Gray Ward in the top 3. Scotty Holly, the carburetor, is going to be in for a hot chance. So is Nathan Hughes there too. We need your predictions in the chat. Nick Moles, 6th place, 7th place for Dion. Benny Hines in 8th, Matthias Falzon, Fitness, Garrick in 9th, 10th and 11th. Kai Upiter, Mallow, Corks and Munro. Round out your top 15 there, Lindsay Muddle. That is going to be an absolute rip snorter for this last race coming up.
Yeah, so it's going to be a game of overtaking here with a reverse top 15. Matt Munro already proved that he has the ability to overtake here at Pukekohe from race 1. And now he finds himself in P15 with a lot of overtaking to do. So he's got to show that prowess once again. Dion Clerk gets another chance here in this one. The man that I've backed since the beginning now finds himself in 7th position off the start. I'm going to back him again. Hopefully it doesn't go wrong.
Well, I hope not, because I'll tell you what, with all of the predictions we've got tonight in the chat, we've had many people give us some good old predictions, but none of them have come to fruition. But that doesn't matter, because I'm telling you now, the racing is on and the lights are up. And this is the final dance of Pukekohe, ladies and gentlemen. Round 2 of the Wednesday Cup Season 17, if you don't mind, is about to get underway here. Are we going to see a beautiful starter here from one man off the front row in Greaterex, the absolute bulldozer himself? We'll see. He has got a beautiful start there. So a good start there from the big man. Let's get back on board with him. He's got a perfect start indeed. Radiant Racing we go. The boys are streaming through right now, but he's got overtaken, in fact, there, because Sargilic's just gone bang. Oh, that's Grey Ward, actually, into P1. He goes. First time leading a race here for Grey Ward in the season. At the moment, the carburetor's lost a few positions there as well. It's happening in the background now. Look at this angry battle pack. Oh, that was contact there between Upiter and Corks, I think. And now they're all 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wide. Here goes Fabian Fitness and Benny Hines again. It's happening here within the first 500 metres of the circuit. From all of the race 2, we saw 3 wide here. In fact, we've got Hughesy, Dion Clerk, Sargilic in front as well. Look at this battle going on. 4 or 5 wide. The carburetor gets through that. Does Falzon get through? He does indeed. Hughes is battling for his life here. Oh, that's a poor 4-year-old Sarge. He's been turned around there. He's going back. So is the carburetor too. At a rate of knots. Oh my goodness, I can't catch up to him. There he is. Not the place to be here. Fabian Fitness has had a mare too as well. He's facing backwards there too. If we can get to him. There he is on the edge of your screen there. Trying to get back on the circuit. Not the ideal place to go for him. He's had a mare to the start of this one. Grey Ward's got a 2.5 second lead. So is Scotty Garrick involved in all of that. But how this man, Matt Munro, managed to get out of all the carnage into P14. He goes, look at Paul Buttigieg losing out to Remo Grant in front of him. There goes Matt Munro up the inside. And that is lap 1. Carnage ensued there. Nathan Hughes still managed to get 5th, but look where Benny Hines is in this one, Lindsay Muddle. He is already inside the top 5.
Yeah, as Hughesy up his inside though, and Hines in P4. He was battling with Fabian. I was getting flashbacks there, but they managed to keep it straight until Fabian was unable to keep it straight himself. But here comes Hughesy up the inside of Benny Hines. They're drag racing now towards the braking zone. It's going to be an overtake opportunity here for Hughes. Falzon leading in front of them as well though in P3. Hughes up the inside. Benny Hines though defending well. Surely the cutback is in play here. No, he's going to try and stick it out the long way round, and it's not worked for him. Hughes off into the grass, loses out to Hines. Here comes Nick Moore and Upiter, not able to get it done into the hairpin as Dion Clerk now up into 5th position. Fantastic stuff from him. He's in the top 5. I've backed him a few times. He hasn't pulled it together yet, but right now here in the final race of the night, he's doing very well for himself. And next up for him to try and overtake is Benny Hines, who has 1 second to the top 3, and Matthias Falzon very close behind Greaterex at this point in the race. That gap looking like it's about 2/10. Here's Dion Clerk and Hughesy battling away. Here comes Upiter on Nathan Hughes as they head into turn 1. Upiter getting it done. Fantastic stuff at the moment. The battle for P2 looking very, very close. Hines back within 1 second of that battle as well. Here comes Falzon on Greaterex down the straight using all the slipstream. He's dragging in a straight line now into the braking zone. He pulls to the right hand side. This is the inside for the first part of the chicane. It's elbows out here for Matthias Falzon, and he gets the place up into P2. Greaterex left defenseless. Fantastic stuff here up the front early on already. I forgot how to speak English.
full-on brain fart there from Lindsay Muddle. Full autism on your commentary box at the moment. Live from, I correct myself, where are you? East Coast, New South Wales, I don't care. Anyway, but Greater X has lost the position here. He's under all sorts because here comes Dion Clerk. Here's your man, Lindsay Muddle. He's going for it. He's got the job done there on Greater X. Up the inside he goes. Thank you very much, Mother, for the rabbits. Now he's got a good old hot chance here to be up in the podium at least, but he's got a fair old tough competitor to get that job done. Setting the quickest lap of the race is Dion now, a 108.433. Benny Hines has been clear of all the nonsense in behind him. His two main competitors, Fabian Fitness and Matt Munro, outside the top 10, so bit of sigh of relief for him. But look at this at the moment. You can tell you what, it's absolutely barnstorming here. This is Dion Clerk on your screen, throwing into slipstream here at the moment of Benny Hines, having a good old tussle here. Jupiter's up the arse end here. Greater X2 is going backwards at a rate of knots, and he's going to get that job done. Here's Kai Jupiter. Up the inside goes a half planet, just dominates the solar system, gets through, and now he's in order 5 of the planets and in 5th place on track. Beautiful stuff from him, but Nathan Hughes is having a good old crack here as well at Greater X, who's going backwards. Can he get the job done here? We're right on board with him to see what he can do into the hairpin. No chance at the moment. He's just sailing that car in, using all the arse grip he can possibly do. But look at that for a rear end tussle there from Nathan Hughes. Just drove it out of the corner beautifully. Hasn't worked out for him, but look at Lindsay Muddle's man, Dion Clerk. He has got Benny Hines on the ragged edge here at the moment, up into the final turn of this track at Pukekohe, but he couldn't get the job done. Benny gathered that up with excellent car control. Falzon doing 108, Deads is the fastest lap. He's going to try and catch Grey Ward in P2, but it's all happening. Everyone behind's doing 107, 109, 108. Matt Munro's done a 108.2, Scotty Garrick's on a 108.5, and it's all happening here. Look at Dion dancing that car on the absolute limit of grip adhesion for this one. Nathan Hughes has had a good old tussle, but he can't get that job done. What's happened to poor old Paul Buttigieg? He's been overtaken by a couple of people. That's Atkins in front of him. Now Nick Mellow's going to have a tussle with him because he had an absolute mare at the start. The Nick Mellow easy as well as you like. Got that job done. Paul Buttigieg's on the defence here from Lee Crowther, but Lee Crowther's just gone up the inside and said, nope, bug here. I'm going down the absolute racetrack, and I don't care where you are, Paulie. I'm out. He's got the job done. Greater X has been done by Nick Mole as well, too, so another good old tussle there, but unfortunately for Greater X, sailing backwards at a rate of knots, and battles have just started to peter out a little bit here, but we know what that means in Tomato. Give us about 22 seconds, and it's all on again like Donkey Kong.
Not even 22 seconds here at the rate we're going, and Matt Munro creeping his way back up as well. He's next to try and get past Simons for the edge of the top 10. It is really close here. Matt Munro trying to charge back. It'll just be the tricky part of once he gets to Nick Mole, if he does get there, he now has to close 2 seconds. Speaking of closing 2 seconds, Falzon has closed 3, and he's on the back of Ward for the lead. I thought that Ward had pulled a fast one on the opening lap, but now here we go. The gap 0.4 of a second for the race lead, and a big train behind as well down to Dion Clerk. So this is all it here for the race lead. 10 and a half minutes remaining. It is Ward versus Falzon, Hines and Clerk, and then another 1.8 seconds back from that is Jupiter and Hughes as well. So this is all kicking off here. They're absolutely nose to tail at this point as they head into the hairpin. This is absolutely cracking stuff, and there's still a long way to go. As already Falzon showing the nose, trying to mind punt Grey Ward here as they head through the final sector, as that's a great run from Dion Clerk. He's now on the outside of Benny Hines. There's wheel rubbing there between the two of them. They're bumping, and they head now through into the final corner. Surely not here from Dion Clerk. He's trying it on the inside, and he gets ahead of Benny Hines. But Hines isn't going to have that one so easily here. He's trying it again. He's trying to put the boot in. Now he's on the outside, and he has the inside for the next complex of corners. He backs the nose out. They lost a bit of time from that. They're still within striking distance of the cars ahead, though. So Dion Clerk up into the podium places with P1 and 2 in sight. Falzon, meanwhile, is now going to have and try and have another run here on Grey Ward for the race leader, Zach O'Reilly. I can't seem to keep my English skills together.
No, that's all right. It's no wonder it's your second language there, Lindsay Muddle. Gibberish is your first. But holy mackerel, Falzon's having a good old tussle. Great Ward. Full credit to this man in front. He is keeping every single car behind him honest. And I'll tell you what, he has got an absolute tsunami of talent right behind him. And he's still not giving it up. He has led this one for the last 7 minutes, 8 minutes actually, in fact, ladies and gentlemen. And still keeping them honest. But not for long, though. I think that was an error there from Grey Ward. If my commentator cursed him, I might have. This could be a little bit of an overlap. But I don't think think so at the moment. Oh, look at the gear change there between them. The pace just settled up. Grey Ward's going to skip off into the distance. That hurt Falzon there because here comes Dion. Lizzie Buttle's man for the evening. He's having a good old crack at it, but no. Now it's all side-by-side action. Single file, sorry, that's what I'm trying to say here. But my goodness gracious me, Grey Ward dead set on an absolute charge of his lifetime here. He just got to keep it on. Oh! Big issues there on the internet factor, I would say, there between Clerk there and Hines. They came together somehow. They managed to keep it on the racetrack, but boy, oh boy, wowee, this is a freight train to remember here, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your eyes on that. Let's go back to one of the quicker guys here in P10 in Scotty Garrick. He is now there. Oh no, don't tell me. It has happened. Falzon and Ward have changed positions. Gray's kept that fight up for as long as he possibly can. 9 minutes in fact, and he has kept it absolutely singing to the high heavens. Falzon's got past him. He'll skip off into the distance. How long can Grey Ward last here for the next couple of laps? Can he keep that absolute tsunami, as I said before, coming and taking all those positions? Because it is a suck train. You got Hines, you got Clerk, you got Upiter, you've got Nathan Hughes now involved in this one too. All under half a second. In fact, 5 or 6 cars in a row under half a second away, and you can see them fighting for it. Nathan Hughes has got a beautiful run here. What can he do? Let's go back to the actual camera I was trying for. He's got a sensational run here on Upiter. Oh, nearly switchback style collision, and I'll tell you what, that was something to go about. Ezra Simons, is that enough? He's DNF for this one. Now it's all Monkey C stuff here. Can they go for it? Switchback style. Nathan Hughes is going to go for it because that was deep there by Upiter, but he's parked it on the apex as the half planet and said, Nathan, good luck to you. But now he's hampered himself on the exit. Hughes is going to go past. Now you can see Dylan Clerk, who has got past Benny Hines here too. It is now a genuine drag race, I would say, here between the two of these guys for P2 and 3 with Ward. Fighting for as far as he can, but I'll tell you what, Dion's just got up the inside. Now he's got a P2 in front of him. Grey Ward's losing positions at a rate of knots. Oh, no, big touch there from the absolute dead set mayor of Benny Hines, and Upiter got involved. Benny Hines has just gone straight forward. He's trying to get there on Clerk's move as well done, and I'm telling you what, that was pretty poor there from LS1 Benny. He's got to get that one back, but Upiter's involved in this one. He's still giving it up without a fight. 4th place, 3rd place, 2nd place, all sheep stations, and mind you, we've got 6th, 7th and 5th, all trying to get that same place off each other. And Fabian Fitness in 10th place. Watch out, he's on the back of Scotty Garrick.
Yep, so a lot of battling going on at the moment as here is Hines up the inside of Dion Clerk. Dion got rear-ended at the chicane last lap around, which is why Hines is in the position to strike, but he's taken advantage of that as nearly, again, Clerk nearly getting rear-ended as Hines has made a mistake, and that's up the inside for Clerk, and now it's going to be Upiter up the inside of Benny Hines in a moment's time. Here we go, they're side-by-side as well as Ward is side-by-side with Hughesy as well as they're drag racing towards the chicane. It's wheel-to-wheel for Upiter and Hines. 3.7 seconds up the road to Matthias Falzon, so I think he's pulled a fast one in that regard as it's 3 wide between Tommy Corks and Grey Ward and Nathan Hughes. There's contact. They managed to both keep the cars going in a straight line. Cork still has the run into the hairpin. He's still giving it a go here. He gets the place. Grey Ward, though, holding on for his life. Hughes is now going to be the next car to try and get past. That's a big snap from Grey. And now Hughesy gets up the inside. And that is a lot of cars. That's the top 5 clear of Grey Ward now. But absolutely cracking racing. A lot of scary moments. A lot of code browns, I'm sure, in the cockpit of these cars. And Falzon has pulled a fast one in the meantime.
Look out for this man, though. However, Lindsay Muddle, he got past Scotty Garrick. He's got the job done on him. So now clean air in front of Fabian, the angriest man on the circuit in race 2, has got a freight train of cars in front of him that he knows he can probably get past if he's gallant enough. And I'm telling you, he is dead set on the charge. He knows he can smell a top 5. In fact, I reckon there's 5 minutes to go, but it's only 7/10 of a second between Hughes and Cork. So Fabian there right now. Look at Underground Mammal, though. However, he's got Grey Ward in his sights too. So this is now another position lost for Grey. He fought for the absolute tight, and here comes Fabian. He's not shy about a battle as well. He's going to try up the inside. Look at Nick Mole getting muscled out of the way there by Grey as well, but Nick Mole's going to have to be brave here. Fabian Fitness giving it absolute cigarette paper on the inside. Here goes Nick Mole trying to go. Fabian's trying to the outside line. Around that we go. Trailer Park Girl style. But look at Fabian Fitness. Oh my goodness gracious me. That is the move of the night. 2 places in 100 metres goes Fabian Fitness's way. He is just sensationally just outdone every single person in there. Up into 7th from 9th in a heartbeat there. goes the big man. Now he's got Nathan Hughes in front of him, but look at Garrick at the back as well. He's trying to get the job done here on Grey Ward too. So Wardy's sticking inside the top 10, but he's sailing backwards. Garrick into P9, B8, sorry. Fabian Fitness in P7. He's got a mountain to climb with 3.5 minutes left in this one. 1.8 seconds away from Nathan Hughes in front of him. And I'm telling you, Benny Hines and Dion Clerk, Lindsay Muddle, is probably the next closest battle on track that's going to come to anything. And we've got to keep an eye on these two.
Yeah, these two have been battling hammer and tong all race long. Dion Clerk rear-ended twice already in this race, hopefully not a third time. These two surely are going to try and keep the nose clean, but we know from the racing with Fabian Fitness in race 2 that Benny Hines is also not afraid to get his nose in and muscle it in, and Clerk as well got it done the long way round of the final corner. So both of these two have been giving each other only an inch and nothing more, and now it's going to come here to a bit of a 3-minute race here towards the end. It's going to be a sprint between Dion Clerk and Benny Hines, and I'm absolutely on the edge of my seat waiting to see how this one all plays out. Currently they're separated by 0.6 of a second, and Dion Clerk just pumped in his fastest lap of the race, so he is absolutely flying. Falzon though sitting 4.5 seconds, nearly 4.3 seconds out in the lead. He's looking quite comfortable. All he has to do is bring it home, and especially if these two begin fighting, it is going to be easy days. He won't even have to push one bit. Meanwhile, now we look to Tommy Corks. He's up behind Upita for P4. These two also close together. A lot of drivers close together. I also spot Nick Mello on the timing tower, less than a 10th behind Nick Mole. Into the chicane they go. Nick Mello on the hunt in the slipstream, trying to get past Nick Mole into the braking zone. He's up the inside. There's Grey Ward as well as they head through the second part of the chicane. So Nick Mello cleared one car in this little tussle. Now he's got Grey Ward to try and get past as they head into the hairpin. Will he show the nose? He did think about it, but he's still on a charge here. Nick Mello driving absolutely superbly at the moment in the dying stages here of the final race of the night. This is absolutely cracking stuff up and down the field as well as Conan gets past Scott McEwen for P25. So up and down from top to bottom, there's a battle going on somewhere here. It's just a matter of knowing where to look as Dion Clerk and Benny Hines set 107s as here comes Nick Mello on the inside of the sweeper as they head through. Surely Mello will get it done, but it's easier said than done here as they head into the chicane. He does get it done up the inside of the sweeper. Cracking stuff there from Nick Mello as now he has 1.9 seconds up the road. It's unlikely he catches Scotty Garrick, as meanwhile as well Hines and Clerk are about to go at it again as they head into the chicane. Hines a long way around with basically no space to take, but he takes every last millimetre of it. Now he's on the inside of Clerk for the second part of the chicane. They slot back in single file again. Cracking stuff.
Oh, genuinely legendary, that battle there. Two Leviathans going at it, hammer and tong. Dion versus Benny. I'm telling you, that is the battle to look forward to. But still, Fabian Fitness, we've got to be hats off to this man. On the charge has this guy been for the whole racing event. He's tried to get everywhere position he possibly can. Now he's got Nathan Hughes in front of him. This is only 48 seconds to go, so this will be the final lap coming up here, ladies and gentlemen. Falzon's just crossed the line doing 108s. The guys behind him are doing 107s there, Lindsay Battle, but everyone is just flying through. 107.9 in fact there for Fabian. He is on the charge. Can he get this job done for P6 over Hughes? We'll see what that big man can do, the plus fitness. Fern in golden style there going hammer and tong is Fabian. He won't give up without a fight. Benny Hines is probably just in within the slipstream here as well for the final lap of the race. Oh, just a bit too far away here, I would say, for AP to battle over Dion, but he'll send it anyway. He's not shy of a send. He's full Australia Post style here, express, but he can't get that job done. Benny's full on going for it. Dion has gone over defensive, but Benny hasn't noticed it, so he's lost out any hope that he could have get the switch back there for the final lap of this race. 3 more corners to go here. This is it. The counter is done. Matthias Falzon is going to take the win, but who's going to take P2 here? I think it's going to be Dion Clerk. It's going to be a Leviathan battle here for the end. I'm going to have to quickly cross to Matthias Falzon as he crosses the line to take P1 here in the race. He's going to sail it there and absolutely weave his way through. Looks like Dion Clerk's going to take second place, only just there because Benny's full on trying as much as he can. A 10th between the two, nearly photo for them. Here goes Tommy Corks, just missed out on P4 on Upita. Nathan Hughes gets 6th place. Fabian Fitness, a gallant effort for 7th place. Scotty Garrick in 8th. Nick Mello ploughed through the field, gets 9th. And the round, top 10, is rounded off here by the one underground mammal with Grey Ward in 11th place. Starting off pole, defended for his life there, Lindsay Muddle in that final one.
We have 3 more. I would
Yeah.
absolutely be here for it. Fantastic stuff up and down the field. Pukekohe and these drivers in these Toyotas putting on an absolute show to behold. There were side-by-side moments every single lap through the 3 races. This has been a fantastic night of racing. Matthias Falzon taking the last laugh though with the win here in race 3. Dion Clerk though, the man I backed the whole night, couldn't quite get a win. He does get P2, not a bad race overall. Benny Hines gave it a good fight though for P3. Fantastic stuff all rounders. Look at these boys drifting through the hairpin.
Yeah, they're having a good old tussle. But fully deserved for every single winner tonight. And any position. It was sheep stations. And I'm not talking about the pun intended for New Zealand. That was 100% fighting over every single acre on the racetrack. And I'm telling you, that one man came out on top in the final one. Your man on screen there, Matthias Falzon. Can't get to him. Let's have a quick look before he goes in. Every single last person. In fact, I'm going to try and go for the free cam style here. And that was a race to behold, Lindsay Muddle, for that one. What a way to finish the round.
Yeah, that was an absolutely cracking night of racing, and that coming down to the last moment is here we go. Will the free cam work? It does look like it, so unlike me with the slipstream race the other night, the free cam wants to work here for Zach O'Reilly, as we're going to get a good shot here of the pit lane as there's some donuts there. It's the police car doing donuts. Hold on, officer. Is that abuse of power?
Maybe, but there's no laws on a racetrack, mate, so that's okay. Heel hand defect stickers out every single post-race event. I'm telling you, to anyone who hit him, but have a look at them all having a good old show out there, and that is Pukekohe Raceway. A great shame that it's not around anymore, because that is exactly what the racing presents for this track. It was an absolute barnstormer in real life, and it's proven it tonight here in the Sensational TV AK Racing land, that is for sure. Big shout out, thank you to Ron Marshall for the $5 super chat. You are a legend, mate. Appreciate that as well. But that is it for tonight. Wow, what an event we had. We had 3 different winners from 3 different races, and we had battles up and down the field for sure. No one predicted anything correctly in the race winning department, but what a cracking event. Thank you to every single one who participated in the event tonight out there on circuit. Thank you to everyone out there in YouTube land, and the biggest thanks of all to one Lindsay Muddle here in the commentary box with me tonight. If you've loved what you've seen, ladies and gentlemen, and you definitely tell your friends about it, give them the YouTube channel of Sensational TV. Like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. We're on the road to 2,000. Got a fair way to go, but your support is what counts, and a big thank you to our Patreon members also for putting on the event and being able for Sensational TV to put on a show for you every single round that we possibly can broadcast. But any final words there, Lindsay Muddle?
Keep up the great racing, lads, is what I'd have to say. That was fantastic.
Absolutely. Cannot disagree with that statement at all. But it's a sad time. We're going to have to say goodbye for now here at Sensational TV. Until next week here at the Wednesday Cup as well. So thank you every single one of you for tuning in tonight. Thank you to all our supporters once again. Big thanks to Lindsay Muddle for being in the commentary box. He has been himself. I am Zach O'Reilly, and guess what? You're not. But for now, it's goodbye, good evening, and good night here at Sensational TV. We'll see you next week.